Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privrajikacharya Ashtotra Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privrajikacharya Ashtotra Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Mahārāja Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakunda Gir Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ananta Korti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Small mistake. Small mistake that we can fix easily. Satyam. Okay. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today we're reading Canto 9, Liberation, and we'll read the chapter summary, chapter 5, Durvāsā Muni's life spirit. So we'll read the chapter summary and then text 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 if we have time. That is the plan. So let us begin with the chapter summary. In this chapter, we find Mahārāja Ambarīṣa offering prayers to the Sudarśana chakra, and we find how the Sudarśana chakra became merciful to Durvāsā Muni. By the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, Durvāsā Muni immediately went to Mahārāja Ambarīṣa and fell at his lotus feet. Mahārāja Ambarīṣa, being naturally very humble and meek, felt shy and ashamed because Durvāsā Muni had fallen at his feet. And thus he began to offer prayers to the Sudarśana chakra just to save Durvāsā. What is this Sudarśana chakra? The Sudarśana chakra is the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he creates the entire material world. Sa aikshata, sa ashchata. This is the Vedic version. The Sudarśana chakra, which is the origin of creation and is most dear to the Lord, has thousands of spokes. This Sudarśana chakra is the killer of the prowess of all other weapons, the killer of darkness and the manifester of the prowess of devotional service. It is the means of establishing religious principles, and it is the killer of all irreligious activities. Without his mercy, the universe cannot be maintained, and therefore the Sudarśana chakra is employed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Mahārāja Ambarīṣa thus prayed that the Sudarśana chakra be merciful, the Sudarśana chakra, being appeased, refrained from killing Durvāsā Muni, who thus achieved the Sudarśana chakra's mercy. Durvāsā Muni thus learned to give up the nasty idea of considering a Vaishnava an ordinary person. Vaishnave jati buddhi. Mahārāja Ambarīṣa belonged to the Kshatriya group, and therefore Durvāsā Muni considered him lower than the Brahmanas and wanted to exercise Brahminical power against him. By this incident, everyone should learn how to stop mischievous ideas of neglecting Vaishnavas. After the incident, Mahārāja Ambarīṣa gave Durvāsā Muni sumptuous food to eat, and then the king, who had been standing in the same place for 1 year without eating anything, it's a long time, also took prasad. Mahārāja Ambarīṣa later divided his property among his sons and went to the bank of the Manasa Sarovar to execute devotional meditation. So I'll just read text 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll recite the fifth text together. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Bhagavatadishto Durvāsas Chakratapita Ambarīṣam Upavritya Tatpada Dukkito Grahit. Shukadeva Goswami said, when thus advised by Lord Vishnu, Durvāsā Muni, who was very much harassed by the Sudarśana chakra, immediately approached Mahārāja Ambarīṣa. Being very much aggrieved, the Muni fell down and clasped the king's lotus feet. Tasya sadyama mavikshya padasparsha vilajita astavit tadharir astram kripaya pirito brisham. When Durvāsā touched his lotus feet, Mahārāja Ambarīṣa was very much ashamed. And when he saw Durvāsā attempting to offer prayers, because of mercy, he was aggrieved even more. Thus he immediately began offering prayers to the great weapon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And text number 3 begins the prayers of Mahārāja Ambarīṣa to the weapon of Sudarśana chakra. So text 3. Ambarīṣa uvacha tvam agnir bhagavan suryas tvam somo jyotishampati tam apastam shitir vyoma vayur matrendriyani cha. Mahārāja Ambarīṣa said, "O Sudarśana chakra, you are fire. You are the most powerful sun, and you are the moon, the master of all luminaries. You are water, earth, and sky. You are the air, you are the five sense objects, sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. And you are the senses also." Text 4. Sudarśana namastubhyam sahasra rachita priya sarvastra gatinipraya swasti bhuya idaspate. Translation. O most favored of Achyuta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have thousands of spokes. O Master of the material world, destroyer of all weapons, original vision of the Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. Kindly give shelter and be auspicious to this Brahmana. So text 5 we can recite together. Tvam dharmastvam ritam satyam Tvam yagnyo kila yagya bhuk Tvam lokopala sarvatma Tvam teja purusham param Tvam dharmastvam ritam satyam Tvam yagnyo kila yagya bhuk Tvam lokopala sarvadma Tvam teja purusham param Tvam dharmastam ritam satyam Tvam yagnyo kila yagya bhuk Tvam lokopata sarvadma Tvam teja purusham param. Please chant. Anyone online? Okay. So synonyms: Tvam, you; Dharma, religion; Tvam, you; Ritam, encouraging statements; Satyam, the ultimate truth; Tvam, you; Yajna, sacrifice; Akila, universal; Yagya Bhuk, the enjoyer of the fruits resulting from sacrifice; Tvam, you; Lokapalaha, the maintainer of the various planets; Sarvatma, all-pervading; Tvam, you; Tejaha, prowess; Parusham, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead; Param, transcendental. Translation: O Sudarśana will, you are religion, you are truth, you are encouraging statements, you are sacrifice, and you are the enjoyer of the fruits of sacrifice. You are the maintainer of the entire universe, and you are the supreme transcendental prowess in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the original vision of the Lord, and therefore you are known as Sudarśana. Everything has been created by your activities, and therefore you are all-pervading. purport. The word Sudarśana means auspicious vision. From Vedic instructions, we understand that this material world is created by the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sayakshata, Saarjata. Ayakshata means he glances, and Asrijata means he creates. The Supreme Personality of Godhead glanced over the Mahatattva, or the total material energy, and when it was agitated, everything came into existence. Western philosophers sometimes think that the original cause of creation was a chunk that exploded. If one thinks of this chunk as the total material energy, the Mahatattva, one can understand that the chunk was agitated by the glance of the Lord. And thus, the Lord's glance is the original cause of material creation. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpatrubhischa Kripasindhubevacha Pratitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvichesha Shunyavari Pashtati Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is the description or glorification of Sudarshan wheel, Sudarshan chakra. Sudarshan means auspicious vision. Before I go into this purport, I'd like to ask of you or request you to do something, if that's okay on your part. Today is the Thanksgiving, so maybe you can think about something that you're grateful for today and all the time in regards to devotional activities, in regards to our practice, Krishna, devotees. And at the end of class, maybe I can ask you, what are you grateful for? And in the Nectar of Devotion, one of the qualities of Krishna is he is grateful, kritagna. A grateful person is one who acknowledges others who have done service. And Srila Prabhupada, or originally Rupa Goswami, gives two examples of how Krishna is grateful. An example of Draupadi, when in the Mahabharata is described how she gave a piece of her sari to protect Krishna's god. And then he also did the same thing. Out of gratitude, he protected her at the time of need when she was crying over to him, "Hey Govinda, please help me," when she was being disrobed. And another example is Jambavan. He was with Lord Ramachandra, faithfully serving him in the pastime of Ram Lila. And then Krishna came to him. We learn in Krishna Lila, in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the pastime of Shyamataka jewel, when Krishna came to get that jewel from Jambavan, because he was being defamed. Jambavan not only gave the jewel to Krishna, but also his daughter, Jambavati. And they fought tirelessly for a long time together. That's described in the Bhagavatam. So Krishna is grateful. Yeah, they fought first and then he gave. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So Krishna is known as, is grateful. This is the 17th quality listed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Srila Prabhupada adds to this that the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also simply an address to the Lord and His energy. So to anyone who is constantly engaged in addressing the Lord and His energy, we can imagine how much the Supreme Lord is obliged. It is impossible for the Lord to ever forget such a devotee. It is clearly stated in this verse that anyone who addresses the Lord immediately attracts the attention of the Lord, who always remains obliged to Him. Especially if we chant in the mode of Sharanagati, where we feeling ourselves to be helpless and dependent on Krishna's mercy. That is an essential attitude or intention before we begin chanting or any devotional activities. I have no spiritual resources. I'm completely helpless. Please pick me up from this material consciousness that I have and save me. So I'm not trying to identify with my upadhyas, my designations. I'm trying to be identified as a Krishna's servant. And at this stage, of course, I should be feeling helpless to get attention of the Lord when I'm chanting the holy name. So we know that the most important quality of a devotee, the Vaishnava quality, is Krishna Eka Sharanam, is that he takes shelter of the Lord. He's completely dependent. So that is the kind of dependence and mood we are trying to develop in the brahmachari ashram or in a grihastha ashram, in any ashram, dependence on the Lord. So in this purport, let me just get back here. Srila Prabhupada is speaking that Western philosophers sometimes think that the original cause of creation was a chunk that exploded. And in an example of Srila Prabhupada's preaching, we learn that he was not against the science as a principle, as it is, but he was against the atheistic presentations of the scientists, and especially in the sense of trying to exploit and lord over material nature and mislead people. He was not happy how science misleads people. He would say it is not our business to condemn the advancement of knowledge, but trying to prove that there is no God by the advancement of knowledge, that is a waste of time. That is something that Srila Prabhupada would never accept. And real education is to understand what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. He says that Krishna is maintaining everything, Maya Dhyakshana Prakriti Swete Sacharacharam, Hetanana Kuntiya Jagat Viparivartate. So the actual education in science should be targeted to understand how this has taken place, how Krishna is maintaining these things. And Srila Prabhupada gives a wonderful purport to support this in the first canto, Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam from Vyasadeva 1.5.22. Translation: learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of the hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says human intellect is developed for advancement of learning in art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, and so on. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. And then he says philosophy and science should be engaged to establish the glory of the Lord. Advanced people are eager to understand the absolute truth through the medium of science, and therefore great scientists should endeavor to prove the existence of the Lord on a scientific basis. And then simply philosophical speculation, Srila Prabhupada says, should be utilized to establish the supreme truth as sentient and all-powerful. So real advancement of knowledge would be to establish the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in order to glorify and place Krishna in such a way. And that would be called Hari Kirtan, even by the scientists. By the things they will be developing and doing, this would be considered Hari Kirtan. So, Srila Prabhupada, he's a member of ISKCON. He would say that I'm a member of ISKCON. I have faith in ISKCON, obviously. So he did create ISKCON for preaching to the mass, but then he also created the Bhaktivedanta Institute to preach to the class. And the purpose of Bhaktivedanta Institute is to establish Krishna consciousness in a genuine scientific way. So it is presented on principles of our Shastra. And Srila Prabhupada, for the most part, had two themes in science that he found false. That first one is the Darwinian evolution theory. What is the beginning of life? And second one is the view of the cosmology, contemporary view of the cosmology. So life doesn't come from matter. Matter is generated from life. The soul can never be manifested by a combination of chemicals. And no one can prove that the matter manifests life, the soul, because science means you do experiment, you observe, but it's impossible to experiment in such a way to produce the soul. And then contemporary cosmology means what are the planetary systems. We'll know that the moon is a star and it's actually further away from the sun. Then there's Vedic calculations with various examples in Srimad Bhagavatam. And The idea is that we want to accept Shastra and we want to accept the words of Krishna. That is, as Vaishnavas, as practitioners, what we desire, what we want to do, and we want to also make that make sense to all the classes of people who have the intelligence and have questions about such topics as science. So that's the real scientific knowledge, according to the view of Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON, is to engage this propensity, this ability, this talent to please Krishna, to glorify the Lord. So I also would like to say a little bit about the chakra, which is what we're hearing about now in this part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sudarśana will. It is mentioned by Mahārāja Ambarīṣa how you are religion, truth, encouraging your sacrifice, you are the enjoyer of the fruits of sacrifice, and the maintainer of the entire universe, the supreme transcendental prowess in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The various different examples how Krishna uses his chakra and protects the Dharma. In the Bhagavatam, Bhamasura, Shishupal, Shalva, Vidurat, all those different demons were slain by this chakra. So Krishna, one of his name is Venudhari, he's holding the flute, and also another name is Chakradhari, he's holding his chakra in one of his hands. So Sudarshan means, Su means very nice or auspicious, and Darshana means vision or observation. So Sudarshan is auspicious vision. It has thousands of spokes, and it illuminates the three worlds. It's a constant companion of the Lord. And it also has a personified form, standing next to Krishna as his constant companion, ready to carry out the orders and instructions of Krishna. Very powerful weapon, more powerful than Brahmastra. And Agni gave this Sudarshan chakra to the Lord, being pleased with him. He presented this chakra as a gift to Krishna. There's one also. It's interesting how we see that Agni presented this as a gift to Krishna. He was already, ultimately belonged to him. So Srila Prabhupada gives an example how Rukma gave his daughter Rukmini to Krishna. But Rukmini is the internal energy, internal potency of the Lord. So she's also belongs to Krishna eternally like that. So that's the obviously the pastime. The Lord is he accepts presentation from his devotees, even though these presentations are eternally his property. And we can take a look at one pastime that speaks about how Krishna used this Sudarshan chakra. That is the pastime of Pandraka, the false Vasudeva. It's mentioned in the 66th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I just want to read some of the things here in this pastime I selected. I think it would be nice to meditate on this pastime. One thing is that Sudakshan, he was the son of the king. He was he performed a yajna to invoke this fearsome demon to go to Dvarka and attack Krishna. But then the mantra didn't work, and so the demon actually pursued this son of the king and also went to Varanasi, where the king, son of the king resided. And it says here that Lord Vishnu's disc also entered Varanasi in pursuit of the fiery demon and proceeded to burn the city to the ground, including all its assembly halls and residential palaces. So the disc was pursuing the son of the king. The fiery demon, excuse me. The disc was pursuing the fiery demon, just like in this pastime of Mahārāja Ambarīṣa. So let me just begin here in the very beginning of the 66th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1066. Lord Balaram was away visiting Nanda's village of Raj, the ruler of the Karusha, foolishly thinking, I am the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. So this is the ruler of Karusha, he was foolishly thinking. He sent a messenger to Lord Krishna. And he was not
he wanted to wait until Krishna is by himself in Dwarka. He wouldn't do that when Balaram was next to him, because he knew that Balaram would be agitated and he would protect Krishna. So the slow-witted King Pandraka sent a messenger to the instructable Lord Krishna at Dwarka. Pandraka was acting just like an intelligent child whom other children are pretending is a king. So he was made believe that he is Krishna by other companions of his. On Pandraka's behalf, the messenger was sent, and he was speaking to Krishna. I am the one and only Lord Vasudeva, and there is no other. It is I who have descended to this world to show mercy to the living beings. Therefore give up your false name. O Sattvata, give up my personal symbols, which out of foolishness you now carry, and come to me for shelter. If you do not, then you must give me battle. So he's saying that please give up this false position of yours. I am actually Krishna, not you. And if you don't do that, I'm going to take you to the battle. I'm going to fight you. So here in the boastful words of Pandraka, who had little intelligence, Ugrasena and others laughed loudly in the presence of the Lord. They were laughing at him, because that is such a foolish thing to say. So foolish Pandraka demanded that Lord Krishna give up his powerful weapons, such as the disc, the club, and here the Lord replies, Udstrakshiye muda chinhani. Yes, fool, I will indeed let loose these weapons when we meet on the battlefield. This is the purport to text number 8 of the 66th chapter. So Krishna is saying, I will let him loose, but in a different way, when I come to battle you. O messenger of Pandraka, you may carry my message to your master. He is a foolish rascal. I directly call him a rascal, and I refuse to allow his instructions. I shall never give up the symbols of Vasudeva, especially my disc. I shall use this disc to kill not only King Pandraka, but all his followers also. I shall destroy this Pandraka and his foolish associates, who merely constitute a society of cheaters and the cheated. So without waiting any longer, Lord Krishna immediately started out in his chariot to punish the rascal Pandraka. As soon as he got the message, he got into the chariot and he went to see him. Lord Krishna saw that Pandraka was carrying the Lord's own insignia, such as the control, disc, sword, and club, and also an imitation Shanga bow and Srivat's mark. As a blessing from Shiva, Jiva Goswami explains, he could display the 4 arms as well. So this is how he was looking. He had the 4 arms. It's explained in Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda. They were false, since they could be removed from below his armpits with a sword. His crown ornaments were imitations that looked like the Lord's fine ornaments. So all of this is just an imitation that Pandraka had. It's amazing how much we can believe if someone supports that idea in the circle of our association. So that's what Pandraka is believing. He believing himself to be Krishna. The Lord tormented his enemies with his club, sword, Sudarśana disc, and arrows. Fire of annihilation torments the various kinds of creatures at the end of cosmic age. Just as the fire of annihilation, he was tormenting his enemies. He was using these weapons of club, sword, Sudarśana disc, and we'll hear about how he used the Sudarśana disc in this pastime. So there were present horses, elephants, mules, camels, humans, and they may all cut to pieces by the Lord's disc weapon, shone like the gruesome playground of Lord Shiva. This devastated battlefield appeared like the dancing place of Lord Shiva at the time of dissolution of the world. And Jiva Goswami explains this was done especially by his chakra, the best of all weapons. The chariots had previously went in front, but the chakra completely destroyed them because of its action, since it was the best weapon. So the chakra is destroying all of them who were present there. Pandraka, you requested me to give up the symbols of Lord Vishnu, specifically my disc. Now I will give it up to you. Be careful. Having thus derided Pandraka, Lord Krishna destroyed his chariot with his sharp arrows. Then the Lord then cut off his head with the Sudarśana disc, just as Lord Indra lops off mountain peak with his thunderbolt weapon. So that's how easy it is for Krishna to do it. And then he severed Kashraja's head from his body after killing Pandraka, and he sent that head flying to Kashi's city. The reason that the king of Kashi's head was thrown into the city of Kashi can be inferred as follows. This is Srila Vaishnava Chakra Thakur's explanation. O inhabitants of Kashi, today I will bring the head of the enemy into Kashi. Do not doubt this. Promising this, the king then went to the battle. His sinful, proud wives also told their friends, today our husband will bring the head of the master of Dwarka. For this reason, the playful lord put the king's head into the city to astonish the inhabitants. At first, because the citizens were promised that Krishna's head will be brought back to the city. But what happened, of course, Krishna, he killed Kashiraj and threw the head of the king into the city. So they didn't know. They were surprised to see that the head of the king is present there. So let me just fast forward a little bit because we are running out of time. What happened further? So Krishna, he killed Pandraka, he killed Kashiraj, and then Sudarśana, the son of the king, he was worshipping Lord Shiva, who told him that you should perform a yagya, and from that yagya come the fearsome demon, who will attack Dwarka and kill Krishna. This is how you can retaliate. This is how you can, what's the right word? Avenge? Avenge is the right word. Okay. So, but then, this Dashinagni fire, the sacrifice, accompanied by different Brahmins, was performed with to fulfill the desire of the son of the king, and thereupon the fire rose up. The fire rose up out of the altar pit, assuming the form of an extremely fearsome naked person. The fiery creature's beard and tuft of hair were like molten copper, and his eyes emitted blazing hot cinders. His face looked most frightful, with its fangs and terrible arched and furrowed brows. As he licked the corners of his mouth with his tongue, the demon shook his flaming trident. So the demon came out of this fire, and everyone was saying, please save us, please save us. Having thus killed envious Pandraka and his ally, Lord Krishna returned to Dwarka. As he entered the city, the Siddhas of heaven chanted his immortal nectarian glories. But the people of the city of Kashiraj, they were saying, please save us, please save us. Krishna was in Dwarka. Excuse me, I think I'm confusing this a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to summarize the end of this pastime by real quick. So Krishna killed Pandraka. Krishna also killed the king of Varanasi, and then his son performed the yagya to invoke the presence of the demon who attacked Dwarka, and then Krishna, he used his Sudarśana chakra to kill all these enemies who were opposing him, and also because the mantra didn't, the demon was attacking Krishna, and he was fearsome of the Lord. He actually went back to chase after the son of the king. I'm completely messing it up. But Sudarshan, his name is Sudarshan. And the disc also entered the city of Varanasi in pursuit of fury demon and destroyed the whole city and burned everything to the ground. So that's how powerful the Sudarshan chakra is. Upon the will of the Lord, he can burn down the entire city of Varanasi and even counteract the mantra by which the demon appears in. This is the description. Sudarshan chakra is always ready to carry out the order of the Lord. In regards to being grateful, today I wanted to, I guess we don't have so much time, but I wanted to
read one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila. This is volume 5, chapter 22. We were just reading that together as a part of our ashram reading. But then in this chapter, the process of devotional service is being glorified by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. And there are a lot of nice prayerful verses that Mahaprabhu is quoting from the various scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Padma Purana. So here I just wanted to say that in our path of devotional life, we should develop this immense gratitude and dependence, as I mentioned at the beginning of the class, to the Lord. And for example, there's one beautiful verse. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, text number 33 of the Madhya Lila 22nd chapter, that says, Krishna tamarahana yadibala ekabara maya banda hoite Krishna tarikara para. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in this material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. It's a wonderful verse that could be used as a prayer. Actually, His Holiness Sachinanda Maharaj, in his book, The Living Name, he uses that verse for a meditation on how we should approach the holy name. We've forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, but today I am surrendering unto you. I'm trying to be a sincere and serious servant. And another verse, text 34, this is from Yudhakanda in Ramayana. It's at the end of the Ramayana. It says, translation, It is my vow that if only one seriously surrenders unto me, saying, My dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. So this is how, by this serious and sincere surrender, Krishna will protect us, and we will be able to see that in our life. Because Sharanagati is something that we should cultivate. It's necessary for our advancement in Krishna consciousness. And text 45 says, Kona bhagyakara samsara kayan mukha hoy sadhu sangye tabe Krishna rati upajay. Those are just some various verses that I wanted to bring up here to speak about how bhakti is so powerful. Translation of this verse is, by good fortune one becomes eligible to cross the ocean of nishads, and when one's term of material existence decreases, one may get an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. By such association, one's attraction to Krishna is awakened. So by good fortune, we get an opportunity to associate with pure devotees, and in this purport, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains one point. What is bhagya? What is that fortune? Pious activities can be divided into three categories. First is bhakti unmukhi sukriti, pious activities that bestow material opulence. Pious activities that awaken one's dormant Krishna consciousness is bhakti unmukhi sukriti, that's the first one. Then there's pious activities that bestow material opulence. This is bhoganmukhi sukriti. And the third one is the pious activities that enable the living entity to merge into the existence of the Supreme. This is called mokshanmukhi sukriti. So there are three types of sukritis. First is that give us bhakti. Second is that give us bhoganmukhi sukriti. Enable the living entity to get material opulences. And mokshanmukhi sukriti is to merge into the Supreme. But by associating with the devotee, willingly or unwillingly, Srila Prabhupada says, one advances in devotional service, and thus one's dormant Krishna consciousness is awakened. So just to say that bhakti is bhakti sukriti is only comes from association with of the Vaishnavas, as Srila Prabhupada says, willingly or even unwillingly. And since we have gotten this bhakti unmukhi sukriti, we should also, being grateful for it, we should try to distribute this bhakti sukriti to other living entities. And since we will be doing that on the basis of instructions of a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, going out into the world and distributing
this holy name and Srila Prabhupada's books, we can show the actual gratitude that we have for the world and for people. Because in our attempts to present Krishna consciousness, people will be getting Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. And by getting this type of Sukriti, they will be closer to accept the path of devotional service. So this is one thing that I am very grateful for Srila Prabhupada and this practice of devotional activities to Krishna. And if you'd like, you can also share what are you grateful for today, since it's such a wonderful mood of the day.
Thanksgiving, giving thanks. So what's not to be thankful for? First, we're thankful to Krishna for, although we've done selfless things, that we're rotating around in the material world, he takes the trouble to come himself sometimes in order to establish Dharma and destroy Dharma and to protect the devotees. So that, how could we not be thankful about that? But then of course we're thankful to Srila Prabhupada for taking the trouble, for being inspired by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Lord Chaitanya and everybody, and actually coming to the West in his old age, physically, and sacrificing everything for us to give us Krishna consciousness, which is the only hope. So from there we can go on and make many lists, but those I thought I would mention today.
Thank you. It's a nice summary of what we're grateful for. Would anyone else like to share what are you grateful for?
Yes, I'm grateful for the association of the devotees, not only the brahmacharis, but also the devotees who come from outside. Without them, I have lived, some time without the devotees. Although I was in holy places like Vrindavan, but it's not the same. It's always, it's always doing devotional service with devotees is always a blessing. That's what I can say.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Balaram Prabhu, would you like to share also?
The chakra burned down the place Nanda Vrindavan was born and raised in, right?
Yes.
Varanasi?
Varanasi, yeah.
Just everyone knows that. I was thinking about the different Vaishnava scriptures that our acharyas have left us. Of course, you have Srila Prabhupada and you have acharyas coming before him. So many wonderful books are there that were written for people in general, but also there's books written for more serious practitioners, or people who are more into the worship of Radha Krishna. So it's wonderful. So many wonderful books, so many wonderful acharyas, and the devotees who have taken their time to study those books and to repeat those books, repeat the messages. So thankful for them.
Thank you so much, Balaram Prabhu, for sharing that. Yeah, the devotees, they're not only studying, but they also teach and share. So that's an incredible point, that we have access to this. So many lectures, so many things we can watch and hear from the Vaishnavas. Would maybe the rest of you also like to share very shortly in a few words that what you're grateful for? Maybe Joseph, Joe also. Naveen Prabhu as well. Just something short and simple. That would be nice to hear.
I guess maybe similar to what another Vrindavan was saying was, as I was thinking of a lot of different devotees that, there's so many devotees that we can look up to and kind of see as like a role model for kind of what in the future, or to kind of like aim for in life, to be close to where other Vaishnavas are currently. So I guess just that.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Bhaktija, please say a few words.
Hare Krishna. Grateful to be alive here. Association with the devotees, have a relationship with God, and serve Tulsi every morning, Tulsi Devi. I mean, what else is there to be grateful for?
Yeah,
it's a great life. Very thankful for.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so nice to hear that we're grateful for the services that we've been assigned. So thank you so much for sharing that. We can conclude here unless there will be some discussion, if there's anything online or here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just also wanted to mention that I'm very grateful for Tulsi, for Vrinda Devi, having such a pure devotee, being able to serve her and take shelter of her, and also for all of your service in spreading Krishna consciousness. Very grateful for your association and for expanding all of ours here in Tucson. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vanessa. We're also grateful to you to come on this classes and asking questions. Questions are being asked not only for ourselves, but also for everyone who hears them. So it's very nice when devotees ask questions. And it does seem like you have nice questions. So thank you for that. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for your attention. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.